Have you ever wondered how some people seem to remain calm and composed, no matter what life throws at them? What could be their secret? Today we are diving into an ancient philosophy that might hold the answer. Welcome to the world of Stoicism, a philosophy born in the bustling markets of Athens over 2,000 years ago. Stoicism hinges on a simple but powerful principle. While we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond to it. It's about accepting the world as it is, not as we'd like it to be. It's about focusing on what we can change and letting go of what we can't. Imagine the freedom that comes from not being held hostage by circumstance, but instead embracing the ebb and flow of life with grace and composure. One such person who mastered this philosophy was the famous philosopher Epictetus. For those who have not heard of him, Epictetus was born a slave in the Roman Empire who rose to become a highly influential philosopher. Epictetus's life is a testament to the transformative power of Stoic philosophy. Born in the 1st century AD, his early life was marked by hardship. He was born into slavery with no control over his circumstances, and yet he found a way to rise above. By embracing Stoicism. Stoicism, at its core, is about understanding and accepting the things we cannot change, focusing on what we can control, and letting go of everything else. It's about recognizing that our power lies not in external events, but in how we interpret and react to them. Epictetus was introduced to Stoic philosophy by his master, who saw potential in him and allowed him to study. He took these teachings to heart, using them to navigate the harsh realities of his life. He recognized that while he couldn't control his status as a slave, he could control his mind, his attitude, and his responses to his circumstances. When Epictetus was eventually freed, he didn't just leave his past behind. He took the lessons he'd learned as a slave and used them to inform his teachings. He became a beacon of Stoic thought, spreading the philosophy that had enabled him to endure and overcome his hardships. One of his most famous teachings is this: we are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. In other words, our reactions to events, not the events themselves, are what cause us distress. Imagine you're stuck in a traffic jam and running late for an important meeting. You have two ways to react to this situation. You can either get stressed, honk incessantly, and make yourself miserable, but it won't change the situation. Or you can accept the situation as it is, remain calm, maybe listen to some soothing music or podcast, and wait for the traffic to clear. As Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your reaction to the event, not the event itself, is what causes distress. This is the essence of Stoicism. By changing our perspective, we can change our experience. Epictetus taught that we should strive to be indifferent to things outside our control, focusing instead on our own actions and attitudes. He believed that by doing this, we could achieve a sense of tranquility and resilience, regardless of what life throws our way. As Epictetus wisely said, man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. Embrace this wisdom, and you will find that you have the power to navigate every storm, no matter how daunting it may seem. But how can we apply this ancient philosophy to our modern lives? How can we use it so we no longer are taken advantage of? Let's imagine a situation where you end up saying yes to every task at work, even when your plate is already full. This could be due to stress or perhaps the fear of being seen as non-cooperative that leads you to this. Stoicism, however, prompts you to see this situation from a different perspective. Instead of reacting impulsively and automatically accepting every task, pause for a moment and evaluate. Ask yourself, what tasks are within my control? Which ones align with my priorities? By doing so, you're not just mindlessly saying yes, but making conscious decisions that align with your personal and professional goals. This is Stoicism in action. You can't control people's requests, but you can control your response to them. Or let's say someone insults you. A normal reaction might be to feel hurt or angry, but Stoicism teaches us to see the insult for what it is, someone else's opinion, not a fact. You control how you let it affect you. You can choose to let it slide off you like water off a duck's back. That's the power of Stoicism. It gives you control over your emotions and reactions. Stoicism doesn't mean you won't feel emotions. Rather, it's about not being controlled by them. It's about taking a step back, observing your feelings, and choosing your response. Remember, the power lies within you. It's all about how you choose to react. Stoicism also encourages us to have self-control. It's about making rational decisions rather than being led by emotions or desires. Picture yourself at a buffet. Everything looks delicious, but you know that overeating will make you feel unwell. Stoicism would have you use your rational mind to control your actions, to eat just enough to satisfy your hunger and not give in to the temptation to overindulge. Lastly, Stoicism encourages acceptance of things beyond our control. It's about understanding that life isn't always fair. You might work hard and still not get that promotion. Stoicism would guide you to accept this, to understand that you did your best and that the outcome was beyond your control. Stoicism equips us with the mental tools to face life's trials with grace and fortitude. It's a philosophy that empowers us to take control where we can and let go where we can't. It's about resilience, self-control, and acceptance. That is the power of Stoicism. To put this philosophy in practice, Stoicism gives us a couple of exercises. Let's start with a simple yet powerful Stoic exercise: negative visualization. This isn't about dwelling on the worst-case scenarios, no. It's about acknowledging the impermanence of everything we value. Imagine for a moment that you've lost something you hold dear. How does that make you feel? Now open your eyes to the reality that you still possess it. A sense of relief, isn't it? This practice helps us appreciate what we have and prepares us for any potential loss. It's about finding joy in the present and not taking anything for granted. Another Stoic exercise is practicing voluntary discomfort. This is about stepping out of your comfort zone deliberately, challenging yourself. It could be as simple as taking a cold shower or skipping a meal. The aim is to toughen up, to realize that we can endure hardship and still maintain our equanimity. It shows us that we are more resilient than we think, that comfort is not a necessity, but a luxury. Incorporating Stoicism into your life means understanding and accepting what is within your control and what is not. It's about focusing your energy and efforts on things you can change and letting go of the rest. This principle helps us reduce stress and anxiety, leading to a more serene and content life. Remember, Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them and managing them. It's about responding rather than reacting. It's about not being a slave to our impulses, but being their master. The practice of Stoicism is a journey, not a destination. It's about steady progress and personal growth. It's about becoming the best version of yourself.